Hi there and welcome back. It's Lisa from Critters'n Ink Designs in Ontario. Today I have a guest stamper and she's going to demonstrate how she made this beautiful card for our monthly swaps. She's part of my team. Her name is Doreen Teasdale and she's a demonstrator in the Toronto area. So she's going to be demonstrating this. But first, I just wanted to get a little bit of housekeeping out of the way. It's August, what's the date today? I don't even know. August 15th. And we have until September the 10th to order the September paper pumpkin. And the September paper pumpkin is a Halloween pumpkin. Halloween pumpkin. Yeah, it's a Halloween pumpkin, all right. It's a Halloween paper pumpkin. And this month it's not cards. It's going to be 18 treat boxes, 6 each of 3 different designs. And I'm so excited. I love Halloween. And if you have any questions about paper pumpkin or Stampin' Up! In general, feel free to contact me. I'd be more than happy to answer any of your questions. And the other thing is we still have a couple weeks left for Celebration. And if you're not familiar with Celebration, twice a year, Stampin' Up! Has a giveaway for sales earned. So for $60 in Canada, there's different products that you can get for free. So for instance, for $60, you could get these cute little hippos, the hippos, for free with your order. And for another $60, you could get the matching dies, or you could get the dies or the stamps. And there's lots of different things in here. There are a couple things, however, that are sold out. One of them is the tree lot dies, and the other one is the pool party and soft sea foam cards and envelopes. They're also sold out. Then on the 2nd of August, Stampin' Up! Brought out these other products that are also free for Celebration. They've added 10 new products free with purchase. So if you're interested in any of these, let me know and I can answer any questions that you have. And of course, the mini catalog is still going strong until the end of December. So without any further ado, I'm going to hand it over to Doreen, and she's going to demonstrate this card for you. Thanks so much. Have a great day, and we'll see you soon.
Welcome to Critters'n Ink Designs. I'm Doreen. I'm a guest stamper today. I'm going to show you a great card made with Splendid Thoughts. It's a fun and easy card to put together, but it looks just so amazing and uncomplicated when it's done. So we're going to use Splendid Thoughts stamp set along with all the wonderful dies that come with the set. You can find the stamp set on page 65 of the July to December 2022 holiday catalog. You get the stamping set with the dies, the cute little trinkets, the soft sea foam ribbon, and the DSP paper. This paper is two-sided, 12 by 12 sheets. One side has foil, the other has printed on like a regular cardstock. And then you get you see the coordinating colors that go with it. So you can have a lot of color choices. If green's not your choice, you can do it in the pinks and the purples and the coral colors. It's really pretty. So let me get that out of the way. So we're going to start with our soft sea foam card base. It's 5.5 by 8.5. We're going to score it at 4 1/4. We're going to cut a piece of Granny Apple green cardstock at 4 inches by 5 1/4. And then we're going to cut a piece of that beautiful DSP paper at 3 3/4 by 5. And we're not going to use the foil side, we're going to use the printed side. So let's go ahead and assemble that. I'm going to use my Tombow multi-liquid glue for this. I love the glue, I use it quite often. And I'm going to place that down on my card, centering it in between the score line and the edge. I'm going to take my beautiful DSP, I'm going to apply the glue to the back of the foil. Now when you glue foil paper or any really super shiny paper like this, you just have to remember the glue takes a few seconds, maybe possibly up to a minute longer to set so that it won't move. So that's why I've done this stage first. Just put that out of the way so that it can set while I do the rest of my work. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take our mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. This is really a wonderful little cutting machine, great for the starter stampers because it gets you into die cutting at a very reasonable price. It's also great for going to classes and taking it on field trips, like to the cottage or whatever. You don't have a big clunky machine with you that takes up space, valuable space in the car. So I'm going to put my number 1 plate down, my number 2 plate down. The first one I'm going to cut is out of the soft sea foam, and it's this leafy die. So I'm going to place that on top, and I'm going to put my number 2 plate on top. So my sandwich is 1, 2, 2. So I'm just going to give this a crank through. So I'm going to take that out. I'm just going to put that aside. I'll clean it up after. I'm going to take Mary Merlot, and I'm going to take this die, and I'm going to cut out a shape. You want to ensure when you do die cutting like this that you run the plate completely through, that you don't run it halfway through and then back out again, because that will really curl your plates for sure. You don't have to put it back the same way I'm doing it. It's just a habit I've gotten into. You can run it both ways. You can run it this way or you can run it that way. I'm just got into this habit. And normally when I do die cutting, I kind of have the machine turned this way, but it's a little awkward on the camera. Get the bits off. Okay, I'll show you I can run it the other way. And I like to remove the little bits of paper that get stuck onto the plate because it can, especially with something like that has a large opening, it will kind of emboss it. Could be a cool look, but not exactly what I want today. So let's get rid of those paper bits off the plates. So now that I've die cut all my pieces, I'm just gonna scoot this off, and I'm gonna tuck this out of the way. See, it folds up nice and neatly. You can tuck that into a crafting bag and you're on your way. So now we're going to take our pieces out of the dies. So with the flower pot or vase, we're just going to use our thumbs to push it out. And our leaf one popped out. So you can see it's still sort of stuck in the cardstock, so you just gently poke it out with your fingers. And then you can use your take a pick tool and poke out those. You can also buy an accessory for your take a pick tool. It's a brush attachment that comes with some foam, and you would brush the die before you take the paper out, and it would take out most of these little spots, and it would release the cardstock from the die. But if you don't have that option yet, you can do what I'm doing using your take a pick tool. So here the cardboard is still in the die, so I'm just going to poke out the bits that I don't want, and you can see it has holes in there, and those are meant for you to put your take a pick tool point and push in, or the brushes, and it would allow you to then lift the cardstock out of the die without tearing it or bending it beyond Salvation. And again, with the Mary Merlot, I'm going to poke the holes, lifts the die out, and then I can just run, oh, that one just came out really quick and easy. Put that aside. Last one is the large leaf. And what you can do is you can save these bits if you want to use them as 3D leaves in this card or other cards. But for today I'm not going to use them, so I'm going to just discard them. And again, I'm going to take my Take a Pick tool. I'm going to push those little holes so that the paper pops out. And I'm just going to turn it over, and I'm going to run my Take a Pick tool on between the cardboard and the die. And you can see it lifts without tearing the cardboard. Sometimes it needs a little helping hand, especially on large cutouts like this. So we have all our elements. Another element we're going to add into our design is these beautiful open leaf trinkets that go with the collection I showed you in the catalog. They're fairly large trinkets. They're gold color. They're very, very substantial. Like, they're quite thick and they're very nice. They have a little hole inside here where you can attach a small ribbon or twine or something to attach it to something, or in my case we're going to use glue dots. So now we've got our elements, and we're going to take our card base, and I like to do sort of like a dry run before I glue things down, just so I can move things around and decide if I'm happy with it. So what I'm going to do is just put my finger underneath the vase and lift the top edge up so I can slide things under easily. This is a great way of using up scraps that you keep, and you wonder, like, why am I keeping a little bit of Mary Merlot paper, and then you find out, oh, I need a tiny little scrap for this project, and it works out great. So I'm going to put them under. I'm going to leave the gold out right now so that I can see that I'm kind of pleased with where the position is. I'm going to gently lift up the flower pot. I'm going to take a pencil and make a light pencil mark approximately where I want the top of the flower pot to be. And I'm just going to scoot these out of the way. And I'm going to glue them. I'm putting it on my hand so you can see, because the paper's so light and the element is light that you can't see. Normally I wouldn't glue it on my hand because then you get full of glue. So I'm going to put a dab of glue at the bottom of the stem. I'm not going to go up into the stem because I want it free floating. So I'm going to ensure that it's below the pencil line here. And I'm just going to take my Take a Pick tool and just tap it down so that I don't get gluey hands. And just putting it down on the stem. And I'm going to put it down and hold it into place. You won't see this glue because it will be covered by the flower vase or pot or whatever you want to call it. And it does dry clear. And my Merlot piece. I'm just going to put it sort of scoot off to the one side because I want my gold element here. Now while that dries, I'm going to take my glue dots. These are great. They're very strong little glue dots. Great for embellishments like this. I don't know if you can see the dot of glue, but it's right there. I'm going to pick it up with my element. I'm going to go at the very end and then at the first joint of the leaves. And then I'm going to stick that down, ensuring that this point of the element is below the line so it's underneath the pot. With my flower pot, I'm going to turn it over to the back side is exposed. I'm going to take my dimensionals and I'm going to put them to the outside corners. The reason is I want this area available so that the gold element will easily fit underneath. So now I'm going to use my take a pick tool and take or remove the release paper from the dimensionals. And my take a pick tool is a little bit gluey, so I can take a bit of rubbing alcohol afterwards and just clean that tip off. So now I'm going to place this down, ensuring I cover the stems and my pencil mark, and press it into place. So we're really almost finished our card design. So now what we're going to do is embellish it. So I've got these beautiful brushed brass butterflies, and I'm going to put 2 on, sort of like just above the flower pot. That's all we need there. And then I'm going to tie a pretty bow. Now, in all honesty, I cannot tie bows, but I have a little bow maker. You can get this on Amazon or your local craft store. And I'm using my seam binding ribbon in soft sea foam. That's part of the kit that I ordered or package. And I'm going to tie a bow. So with this little gadget, I'm always guaranteed a beautiful bow. Tie it, and then I'm going to trim my ribbon ends just ever so slightly and take it off, and I have my beautiful bow. It's hard to see, it's so light. So now what I'm going to do is take a glue dot, put it behind the knot of the bow, and then I'm going to put the bow just about 1/8 of an inch down from the edge of my little flower pot. And then I'm going to put my end down. I always like to leave a little dimension to the ribbon so it's not so flat looking. Again, I'm going to do it on the other side. And there, just give it. So we have a nice dimensional bow. So now what we're going to do is work on the inside of the card and the envelope. So I have a piece of basic white cut at 5 1/4 by 4, and my basic white envelope. I'm just going to open the flap. I'm going to take my Granny Apple Green stamp pad, and I'm going to take this stamp out of the set. It's like a leaf. Just remember to tap, not to smoosh your stamps, because you want a nice clean image. If you smoosh your stamps, you're going to get what they call shadowing or just a gloppy design. I also like to do the flap of the envelope. So our envelope is now complete. I'll put it aside, and I'll show you what I mean by smushing. So you can see how there's really no ink other than on the stamp. But if I smush it into the stamp pad, you can see it's now globby all around. If I stamp and I rock my stamp, because I think I need to, of course it didn't do it for me today, you can see I can get outlines around, and that's not what you want, especially when you do sentiments. So now I'm going to do my sentiment and stamp, and there we go. So now all we have left to do is glue this into the card. So glue this into the card. And so with this sentiment, you can use it for weddings, showers, birthdays, whatever. It's a nice little fun card to do. Make a supply of them and you're ready to go if you're in last minute birthday gifts or whatever. So anything I've shown today will be listed on the below on the video. You can also visit crittersandinks.com Lisa is my upline. She has a lot of wonderful videos, and I'm her guest speaker today. So I'd like to thank you for your time, and don't forget that Stampin' Up! Has a lot of specials going on right now. There is Celebration where you earn free product for spending. $60 you earned a free product. You can order wonderful things like this beautiful travel mug, insulated, in the 5 different colors of what they call the in color. So again, I'd like to thank you for watching my video and have a great day.